Good morning, YouTube, and welcome back to the farm. Today we're going to be working on the final drive. Now I've disassembled it to a point. I've taken the covers off of the end bearing here, and I've gone and taken some hardware out of there, taken snap ring off the back side of this one, and looks like you need a big 12-ton press to press this thing out of the bearing, which I don't have, so I'm going to end up having to take that to somebody. And there's some bearings that are behind this that are going to need the same treatment. So I'm not going to be able to do it all by myself. But this clutch has got to come off. And the nuts are rusted so badly that if I go and try to take a wrench to them, they've shredded and pretty much torn to pieces. And I've soaked them with PB Blaster, and I don't know how successful I'm going to be about getting these things loose today. It was not a lot of fun. I tried fiddling with them yesterday. None of them wanted to move, and they just kind of didn't even take to being wrenched on. So we're going to give it another try today and see what happens. I've got some nut buster vice grips we're going to try, and my least favorite option is the angle grinder. I hope I don't have to use it, but I probably will. So let's get to work, see if we can get this thing apart. Woo! That's one. There's two. Woo, hot, 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 hot. That's 4 loose now. 2 more to go. I got some really hot pieces of metal here in front of me. Notice I've got my John Deere green work gloves on. Wrench didn't work, but this sure seems to be doing a fine job. 2 more to go, and these are the worst ones. That's all 6. They're all 6 out. Now the big question is, will I be able to pull this out? And no. Oh, I should have removed that snap ring first, damn it. Maybe. No. Okay, I gotta be careful because parts of this are still really hot. Wow. Look at that pressure plate. That is rusty, crusty. Yeah. Well, that's gonna get replaced. Now, let's see if I can get any of these discs apart. This must be one of those discs. Hey, it's coming. There's one disc. I have a feeling the rest of these aren't going to be quite as easy. Hey, maybe. There's one of those. Okay, well, tapping it and making it bounce seems to help, because when I hit it, they hit and then spring back. Yeah, I'm gonna need a pry bar. I'm back with a little pry bar and I don't know what to call this, but this poor screwdriver has been with me for about 30 years, and I messed up the tip a long time ago, so I went and ground it back, and then I sharpened it, and since it's a sacrificial screwdriver, it's ended up being a wonderful pokey thing and a scraper, and yeah, it's not much of a screwdriver anymore. I use it as a pry tool more than anything else, but it's funny that this one half-destroyed screwdriver has been with me for 30 some odd years, and I keep using it all the time for stuff like this. There we go. Here we go. It's coming. There we go. Yeah, this one's rusted in pretty good. Well, I see parts of it starting to move. There we go. There we go. Got rust down here in the slots. You're keeping it from moving. There we go. I think I got it broke loose. I'm on. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I can see the insides now. Finally. But I've still got more of these clutch discs to pull. Yeah, there's rust down in these channels that the fingers go down into. And it's rusted good. And there's the last one. Well, next to last one. I got one left to go, I think. Yep. This one's metal against metal. So this will be fun to get loose. Or is that the casting? That looks like the casting. Yeah, I think that's the casting. Boy, there's all sorts of stuff in here. Well, at least I got to find it. That feels good and tight. The teeth on the gear are looking okay. Need to clean it up and burnish it with a wire wheel and get all the rust off. But that was all the clutch packs that were rusted up. Yeah. Gonna have to replace all of those, that's for sure. Now I've got to figure out how to get this thing off of the bearings and everything. I think I'm gonna take a break. My back's about had it, but at least I got something done this morning. I'll be back after a while. Now we're gonna go after the bolts here in the center of the clutch assembly, brake drum. You're gonna have to move these little locks off and then try to get these busted loose to see if I can get the drum off of that shaft. I'm gonna say axle, but that's the axle and that's a shaft. Let's see how this works. Well, that's one loose. Doesn't look like anybody's ever done this because they're not bent up. I'm going to laugh if this was last done by somebody at the factory. That was 70 years ago. Thereabouts. Yeah, there's not a mark on these things. There we go. I'm trying to get those keepers to where they'll lay flat all the way down. That way when I go and put my socket on there, I'm actually all the way down on the bolt. That way I stand less of a chance of shredding it. Because you got to remember, these are 70-year-old bolts. And of course my impact is in the barn. Oh, ow, ow, ow. Let's see if I have to break out the breaker bar. I hope not. Hey, that one popped loose. That one popped loose. Yeah. That's good news. Hey. That's real good news. Keep them with their keepers so I don't lose anything. Well, it seems like it's moving. Yep, seems like it's moving. Yeah. Yeah, that ain't moving either. All the bolts are free now. If I can just get this off of the shaft, I'd be doing good. I don't have a puller that's that big. I really don't want to have to go and buy more tools to do this. Because evidently what I need to do is have something that has jaws that'll clamp around here, have something here in the middle and pull up against that. And yeah, I don't own anything like that. Because really what I want to do is I want to take the drum off here and go walk over to my sandblasting cabinet and sandblast all this crud off the inside and the outside of it, and it'll look brand spanking new. But I got to get it off of that shaft. And although I've gotten it to move, and I mean, you know, less than 1/4 of an inch, it has moved. It hasn't moved since then. So as you may have noticed, I went and took the bottom off of here and drained it. I was amazed. There was about 2.5, 3 quarts worth of stuff in there, or pints, I should say. It was low on fluid, but more than 2/3 of that was water. I opened it up and water poured out. And after the water poured out, then the heavy gear oil came out, and there wasn't much left of that. So it's a good thing I broke it open and drained it. Now I went and ordered some new gaskets, and so at least I can put it back together. This gear and the gear that it's attached to that I'm working on here looks good. There's no chips, there's no cracks. The wear is even where it ought to be. There's nothing sharp. But the bearings for the axle are gone, and I'm guessing that the axle bearings need to be changed out. Might as well change these bearings out while we're at it. That way, you know, it's been done and won't have to be done for a long time. But I got to get that drum off. Back to the drawing board. I got to figure out how to do that. Thanks for coming out this morning and hanging out with us on the farm, getting a couple of things done. I'll be back after I figure out how to get this monster taken apart. Come back and see us.